Hi everybody, it's Noelia with My Moxie Dreams. Thanks for joining me today for this plan with me for the last week of September. If you are new here, welcome. For those of you who've been with me for a while, I'm so sorry I've been missing in action. I've mentioned a couple of videos ago that I have just not been feeling well, and it's progressed. And there was just a couple of weeks where I was just in so much pain that I could not fathom trying to do a video. But I'm feeling much better, and I am gonna do the last week of September, and we will talk through whatever's been going on. So let's get started, shall we? For those of you who are new, I just will briefly go over, this is an Eternal Leather Goods pocket wide TN with 4 strings. I have my daily Moleskine here along with a passport insert that keeps all the little goodies that I like to use. And this is my first year doing a pocket, and I absolutely love it. It is not my primary planner. This is kind of more of a I wouldn't say memory keeping. I would certainly say it is kind of a reference. It is where I put my to-dos. It's where I kind of brain dump the night before of what needs to be done. But I have a everyday carry, which is a Giglio Amica with all Franklin Covey compact inserts, most of which I create on my own. So with that being said, let's jump into our September theme. If you watched the previous video, you saw me set up the September theme, which was this beautiful watercolor girl. And I had created paint spatters from Canva. This is why I love Canva so much. So here is the first few weeks. I, again, didn't have time to add a bunch of stickers in between just because I haven't been, there you go, exhausted. I just haven't been feeling well. And then I got a surge of energy, and well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a surge of energy. I went into a manic mode. And for those of you who don't know, I do suffer from mental illness. I have OCD and ADHD, and that causes sometimes for me to go into like lulls of not wanting to do anything and being like completely lethargic and not wanting to do a thing, to becoming manic and being nonstop focused on a bunch of stuff that really is exhausting mentally and physically. And that's what happened this past week. I think I finally was able to silence my mind, and everything is now in perfect order. And I think that is why I'm able to do a video today. So I'm sorry for that kind of insight. Maybe it's TMI, too much information, but I think it's super important to be transparent. And yeah, so I haven't really had time to add kind of these cute little stickers that I normally add in. It's just been a whirlwind. So here we are. Today is Tuesday, the 26th, and I didn't even have a chance to start planning the week, which is why I'm going to do it with you now. October 1st is on a Sunday, and true to what I've been saying in the last minute or so, I haven't even selected a theme. For those of you who are new, I pick a theme every month, and I have yet to pick out something for October. I did play around with something last night, and I just wasn't in love with it, and so I'm still kind of working on October's theme. So this week we're just going to go through Saturday, and then I will do another video on Saturday to do the first week of October. All right, we're going to get our Tombow 673, and we are going to do our highlighting like we normally do and see what we've got. I'm going to keep that there. I will say And maybe we'll talk about it at the end about how difficult this is getting because of the stickers. It's not my favorite now that we're at the end of the last quarter. In the beginning, it didn't really bother me because you really didn't notice the protrusion of the stickers, but now you really can. And it even folds. I don't know if you can see that, but it folds. It does an indentation in my dashboard, and it's worse as we go on. So I think I've mentioned, or maybe I didn't, I mentioned in previous videos, or in my brain I thought I mentioned it, I've played around, I've ordered some stamps and played around with those. I'll probably continue to play around with those just so that I don't have this protrusion. And it makes it really hard to write now on this side of the page, but I will continue to use the sticker that has the time, because I think for me that's really important. But yeah, so we'll see. We have a few more months of me playing with the stamps. I've never been a stamp person. I think because of my OCD and the inability to create something exactly the same leaves me a little leery to do that. See, that's just, it's getting harder and harder to do stuff there. But at any rate, how have you guys all been? I have missed, for sure, posting videos. I'm so sorry that I've been missing in action. I haven't even responded to comments. That's just how out of pocket I've been with just following through with stuff. It's been really tough. But I feel better mentally right now. And I'm hoping that I stay in this space. What I think the sickness, being just constantly in pain, and these headaches that I was having were so bad that it was just hard, and I couldn't sleep, and so I was exhausted. It was just like one thing piled against the other that just made it so hard to kind of beat it. And then I had some surge of energy, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I literally did a Swedish death clean where you literally tear apart your house and purge everything, and that lasted 6 days. And my kids were really worried about me because they know when I go into a manic state, and that was definitely one of them. But when I get in that spot, I can't stop it. It's once something gets in my head, then I can't stop it. So it was 6 days. I'm so sorry if I'm out of frame. I'm not even paying attention. So it was 6 days of tearing apart my house and deep cleaning like I've never deep cleaned in my life. I also, one of the last phases was cleaning out my garage, and it was just going through bins. I have bins, or I had, because I don't anymore. I had bins for each holiday. So, you know, New Year's, St. Patrick's, Valentine's Day, every holiday, I was the mom who would decorate, and I still love to decorate. But I think now I'm more minimal in my decorations. It's not like, I think the only holiday that I go all out for is Dia de los Muertos, which is a Mexican holiday where we remember the dead. For those of you who are not Hispanic, basically it's that movie Coco, only it's real for us. It's a real belief system, I guess, is what we say. That and Christmas are my two holidays that I really go all out for. So the garage took me 1 full day, I think. Well, 2 days, I would say. Maybe a day and a half. I had already purged back in the spring some boxes, more like file boxes. And this time it was like going through bins, and there was a few bins that I had no idea what was inside. That was fun. All right, let's get our words, shall we? And yeah, and I went through all the bins. We got rid of everything. I kept things that I knew mattered to me, as far as like decorations that I knew, like Easter. There's a couple of Easter decorations that I really loved. They were like bunnies that were moss bunnies that I loved. So yeah, so it was, and then just cleaned everything. And so now I feel really good about the house being in perfect order. I can rest, my mind can, I guess, rest, because that was really what was driving it. Not necessarily that everything was in horrible condition, because it wasn't. It was just my mind was saying, you have to do this. And once I get like that, I can't not. It's very, it's I don't know how to explain it for those of you who don't have OCD or mental illness of any kind. It's kind of hard to explain, and I know a lot of people don't understand it, but my goal is to not be ashamed of my quirks, I guess, and to kind of share that so people can understand that it's not necessarily a bad thing to suffer from this, but it certainly takes people to understand, like my kids understand when I'm in it, and how to support me in it, instead of, you know, tell me like, knock it off and you're doing it again. It's more like, how can we support you in this, Mom, to help you get through it? So they did. They helped me. There were some bins that they went through that had all their childhood, you know, as parents, we keep every single art thing that they did. And so it was fun to have my 30-year-old, my 22-year-old, and my 18-year-old go through boxes of things they did when they were kids, and just giggling about me keeping them, and all the Mother's Day gifts that they've made at school when they were in kinder and first grade and elementary and whatnot. So it was funny, and they got to decide what was important to them to keep in their box, because I have a box for each child, and basically in that box is, you know, their what they came home in when they were babies, and their favorite little stuffed animal, their baby books, like stuff like that. And it's a big enough box that they can pick and choose what they want to, you know, what school stuff that mattered to them. Like, they were looking at stuff and like, oh my gosh, I remember when I did this. I remember making this. And, you know, Belle's first play that she was in the Jungle Book, stuff like that. It was very cool to have them go through that and enjoy seeing these things. And I think enjoying the fact that I kept everything. And so, yeah, so they went through a lot of that stuff and picked the things they wanted to keep in their box, and then the rest was going to the shredding machine. So yeah, it was productive. It was a very productive 6 days. It was exhausting, but productive. So I am now out of that state and mentally calm enough where I can go back to doing videos and enjoying it. So yeah, I hope that doesn't scare anybody off, but it's reality. It's my reality and my truth. All right, so here are days. Let's see what else is going on. I think what's interesting is also when I get into that space, that mental space, I don't watch my shows. And it's so funny because I have all these shows to watch that I haven't even been interested in watching. I think last night was the first time that I sat down long enough to watch the morning show. I think I'd missed like 3 episodes, so I finally sat down and focused long enough to watch it, and it was so good. I'm so excited. You know what I find interesting, for those of you who are watching the morning show? Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon are so good at what they do that I forget that they're Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon in this specific show. Does that make sense? Like, have you ever like watched a show with an actor and you're like, it doesn't matter who they're playing in that specific movie or show, they're always going to be something else to you. Like, for instance, Mario Lopez. I think he does like, what does he do? I think he's like on Access Hollywood, but he'll always be Slater to me. I can never not see that. Doesn't matter that he's married and has kids, he will always be Slater to me. And then there's another actor who was on Waiting to Exhale with Angela Bassett and Whitney Houston. And there's a guy on there that's so funny. He also, I will always see him as this like big guy who was like a oaf, and he's actually in Suits. He's the dad of Meghan Markle's character, and anytime he comes on the screen, I just giggle because I think of Waiting to Exhale and the goof he was in that. So I'm just a dork. So yeah, so when they're good actors, it's easy to forget what they've played in the past. Like, I don't see Jennifer Aniston in this show and think of Friends. I just don't. She's so good in this character. And so is Reese Witherspoon. They're so good. But yeah, that is my, I wonder if I should go like this because of the blue. So now we're putting on our stickers and doing that. I hear my cat. Stop eating her food. So my cat, Ruby, she is almost 20 pounds. And the vet recommended that we put her on a diet. So she's on a like Jenny Craig cat diet to help her metabolism. And it's so funny because, and she likes it, she's doing really well. It takes time for them to lose weight with this metabolism thing. I think there's a little cut there that I need to. And the way that these cats are, I have Lucy too, she has a thyroid issue. She could eat everything under the sun and she doesn't gain any weight. But Lucy eats everything, and so Ruby will leave some of her food behind, and again, it's medical diet food for her. But Lucy will, if she sees that we're not around, she will sneak and try to eat Ruby's Jenny Craig food, which is not good because Lucy is already skinny. So the drama of cats. What else can I tell you? I feel like we've missed out on a lot of stuff together. It was, I wouldn't say it rained, but it drizzled today in my part of the woods, which was a good thing because I haven't been tending to my garden. It's been one of the things that also got put off when I get exhausted and mentally kind of not present. And my poor garden, it's still producing tomatoes like crazy, but I literally didn't water it for like over a week. And then we got a nice kind of drizzle that gave it a nice, hi Hi, Luz. Hi. Oh no, that broke. Hi, I can't give you cuddles right now. Oh, everybody's hearing you. So I was kind of thankful for the little drizzle we got because I was able to feel relaxed about not watering my garden. All right, last day. Okay, Luce, I'm almost done and I'll give you some cuddles. She's a cuddle bug when she wants to be. Hi. Oh, she's gonna climb up. Let's see if you guys get a glimpse of her. Oh, there you are. Hi. All right, come on. She is wanting cuddles. What is going on with you, cat? Hi. All right. Scoot your boot. You're on my stickers. Hi, my love. All right, everybody. I'm going to try to scoot her out of the way. So here is... She's all wet. Why are you all wet, you silly? So I guess because of the drizzle. All right, so here is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, October starts on a Sunday, so I will record a video, and once I figure out the theme, which I'm hoping that I figure it out today because I need to get everything prepped for both planners. I ordered another planner from Colin at Eternal Leather Goods. Right now I have this daily in it and it is taking up, it still closes, and I probably have a little bit more space. If you can see, I have a little bit more space, a little bit more room, but I'm worried that as I go towards the last 3 months that it's gonna not close. So what I did is I have been really in love with the pocket size just because I like the smallness of it. I'm sure a lot of us who are trying out the pocket size love this size. I again have a Giglio Amica where my Franklin Covey compact inserts are in, which is a 4.25 by 675 inserts, and I love them. I've loved them since I've been in a compact. However, being in this Moleskine, I'm really loving the compact of it. And so what I was thinking, I tried something last month, I believe it was last month, where I tried to take my everyday carry and pay attention to what I was touching every single day. And what I found is I'm always in my finances, in my trackers, and in my to-dos. And of course my calendar, right? Because I always reference my monthly calendar and put it into my weeklies and my dailies. So if you guys remember, I have my weeklies here and I love them. I create them. They're my life. But I was thinking, could I live without the weeklies, and could I create something that would allow me to just move into my pocket and not have the everyday carry? So what I did was play around. I played around with adding some little business card holder adhesives and creating small sized inserts exactly like my Franklin Covey inserts. So basically just the same insert shrunken down. And I did this to just try to see for a couple weeks if it would work. I think I did it for a couple days. And so I have my orders, which is where I write and track. And then I have my to-do list, which all of these things were done. The garage face and all my house was turned upside down. So I just added these little pockets and put the things that I you know, really do. And then obviously my weekly, I really don't do anything here other than track when I go shopping, when I put gas, things of that nature, and my boss's travel. I have my my monthly trackers here, which is perfect here. And then I have a tracker, which is all my recurring annual tasks. And I ended up shrinking this down. It used to be 2 pages and it was too detailed. I just wanted something clean kitchen. I know what that means for me. Clean bathrooms. I didn't have to put clean the grout, clean the tubs. I know what that means. And so I condensed the annual. Okay. And then what I added was my weight tracker. Who is this for? Hey, Planner Girl. I added my weight tracker in here because that's also something that I touch on a weekly basis. And so I added that in here to see if I could indeed use this and nothing else. Now that goes into why I ordered a second planner, or cover rather, because I already know that I can only fit my daily, and I know that these monthlies do not work for me. If I was going to use just a pocket planner for 2024, I knew that this is not going to work for me. I need space to be able to write appointments and whatnot. So what I did is I created my own monthly calendar. I can't remember. It really bothers me when people don't put their name on their inserts. I don't remember who I got this printout for this insert. I know it was on Etsy, but I got this printout for the months. And what I did was create my booklet, and I just filled it in, right? I just filled it in. I made these little numbers myself on my Cricut. I don't know if you can see that. And I thought, okay, so there's my calendar for the year, right? I'm testing this out. And then I had the other thing that I use all the time is my bills section in my planner. So I did the same thing. I created the same monthly printouts and did add my fixed things just like my current one. Let me move this out of the way. Here's what my current one looks like. It's all on one page. There's what it looks like. So I just did it obviously on 2 pages here, and it shows all the bills. So exactly like I have it in my everyday carry. And then I have my finance tracker. And then in the back, I had all my little inserts. Again, the same inserts that I had in my everyday carry. And so I have my checking, my savings, things like that, so that I could try to live only in my pocket. Okay. And so as you can see, I can't close this if I were to add these 2 inserts. And that's, again, not completing the current year. So what I decided to do was order the exact, it's a little different. I don't know if you can tell, maybe because I use this every day. I had a custom planner made for me. It's the same thing. It is a pocket wide TN 4 strings, but I had him extend it a certain amount so that I could fit more items. So if you can see this right here, I have my daily, I have a monthly in here just to test it out. And then I have my 2 inserts, which is my calendar and my bills. And so the goal for me was to be able to just use this for 2024. Now, I don't know if that's going to work for me because I am so attached to my rings. My rings, I love it to death. And I think one of the main issues for me is not having tabs. and I don't want to go into a pocket ring planner. I like the book style. I don't want to go into a pocket rings. I just feel like it's not where I want to be. But I do love my rings in my Gilio Amica, my Franklin Covey compact inserts. But one of the things I do love more than anything is dividers. I've said it a million times in all my videos that I am a dividers, a tabs chick. I like the tops, I like the bottoms, I like my side tabs. And that is the only reason why I think I wouldn't be able to stay in a pocket as my everyday carry, because I need to be able to get to places quickly, and not having those tabs bothers me a little bit. So I'm still deciding how I'm going to do this. So I'm on the fence, just so you guys know. I am on the fence. I purchased the monthly in here, but what I don't like about it is the boxes. There's 6, and I prefer the 5 just because they're taller and it allows me to write in there more. But again, that's a preference that I have. It may not be a preference for you. And you can see here, just with the 2 inserts that the daily and this, there's a ton of room. A ton of room. I'm gonna play around with it. Again, I think the only negative, or the only reason why I would not use this as an everyday carry, is simply because of the tabs. Now, if any of you have any ideas, I don't like paper tabs. I just don't. If you guys remember these tabs that I have here, I made on my Cricut. I just had some extra thin plastic that was in some kind of package or something that I received, and I used this as a tab to take me directly to my trackers. And as you know, I have this dashboard that stays in the date, and it's easy to find because it just opens up to that particular date. But I would prefer to have a tab for the month instead of having to paper clip it. I don't know. I'm a tab person. So at any rate, that is what I have been playing with in the last, I wouldn't say this month, but certainly last month, to see if this would work for me. Again, the calendar and the bills are the 2 places I touch all the time, as well as, little things like my orders, my to-do list, my trackers, and my weight. Those are like predominantly the places that I go to every single day. The other issue is not having note paper, but somewhere I had a solve for the note paper. I just don't know where I left it. So at any rate, that is what I've been up to. That is what I've been thinking about for next year. I do have everything ready for next year's setup. So I don't know if it's kind of early to do a 2024 setup, but maybe I will. I think I'm waiting to do the 2024 setup because I'm still on the fence as to how I'm actually going to use my daily. And the other issue, as I mentioned in our earlier during the plan with me portion, is that these stickers, as much as I love them, and for me they're aesthetically pleasing, because the way my brain works is I have to have things look the same, be the same. It can't be off, otherwise my brain can't process and it'll get fixated on that. So the stamping portion is really tough for me because it's not consistent. But at the same time, I've learned, as much as I love these stickers, it just takes away from your writing on the page on the left side as you progress, because of that protrusion of those words in those same areas. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to keep playing around with it and hope that I figure out something, because I know for a fact I'm going to keep my daily. I just don't know how I'm going to use, or what I'm going to use for the words in order to eliminate that bulge? That's the big question. And the other issue about everyday carry is, how do I create tabs that make me happy and solve for those things that I like tabs for? So those are the two items, I guess, that I'm awaiting mental clarity for. But yeah, so here is, and you can see this is just a tad bigger. It's not a huge amount bigger. He made it, I gave him the dimensions. I think he made it maybe a couple of centimeters longer, wider, and then he extended the closure for me. So I love it. I'm hoping that as I use it daily, it'll become this beautiful shine that I like, and the popper will pop because I love that. But yeah, that is where I've kind of been thinking about 2024. So at any rate, I appreciate you sticking by me during this really kind of chaotic month, and I thank you for your patience with me. I thank you for your understanding, and I hope that me sharing is not putting you off in any way. I just feel that honesty is the best policy. So I appreciate every single one of you. If you are new to this channel and enjoyed the planner portion, I suggest that you subscribe to my channel. I promise most often it's funny stories and planner related, but today I felt like you all deserved to know why I was missing in action. Thank you again for your patience and your love and your positive comments, and I will look forward to the next video, which will be on Saturday. Let's fingers crossed that I find an image that really speaks to me for October. Okay, everyone, thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.